Guerendo. There was something in the air tonight. The stars were bright. Guerendo. He was good. Now, on like a down-to-down basis, he's not going to churn out 4, 5, 6 yards a carry. That's Jordan Mason. Guerendo will give you 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 25. That's what's cool about Guerendo. Like, if you give him 10 carries, one's going for 30 at least. And that's a weapon. And what's even better about Guerendo is that turns out he's a really dangerous receiver too. He catches a little check down pass over the middle early in the game, goes for 30, 27. Then catches like a diving ball down the field with the sun in his eyes. A running back. Now, he used to play wide receiver in high school, but that's freaking high school. So I'm not saying he's like the route runner. That's me running routes. He's not the route runner that Christian McCaffrey is, but if you throw him the ball, he's super dangerous with it. Like all the ways the Niners use Deebo Samuel with the screens and the end arounds, like boom, you do that with Isaac Guerendo from now on. Deebo's done. Isaac's new Deebo. And the thing about Isaac is that he's hurt now. He injured his ankle or his foot or something because he's never been a starting running back. He's never been a starting running back. He was a starting running back in 4th grade. And he, from what I've heard, my sources tell me that he was really carrying the load back in elementary school. But now in the NFL, he's not really, I mean, he's built to carry the load, but he's not really built to carry the load. Like physically, he looks like he could, but he's never done it before. And he got 15 carries and a few targets tonight and he got injured. So it's my one quibble with Kyle today, and it's something that's been going on all year, is the running back usage. You have one running back and backups, and instead of using all of them, you use the starter a lot, and then he gets hurt. And then the next guy's up, and he gets all the carries, and not the backups still get none, and then the starter gets hurt. So instead of just doing like a few games with one guy, and then he gets hurt, and then a few games with the next guy, and then he gets hurt, you use them all in a rotation. Like a gumbo of running backs. Use them all. And then maybe none of them get hurt. And now football, it's an unpredictable game. It's violent. Things happen. But there are certain things Kyle could do to, lessen the risk, lessen the workload. And like using them all is such a no-brainer. It's the last no-brainer thing he could do this year that he hasn't done yet. Unfortunately for him, he may not have the option anymore. Because Guerendo's hurt, and we don't know if he can play on Thursday. That's a really quick turnaround. So, what is Kyle to do? What are the Niners to do? What are their options on Thursday? Let's just assume Guerendo doesn't play. We don't know, but let's assume it's a quick turnaround, as I just said with my voice high. It's a quick turnaround. So, are they going to start Patrick Taylor Jr.? He averaged 3.5 yards per carry. He didn't seem particularly good. And then they have Keyshawn Vaughn, who was on the practice squad. He played a little bit today. He seemed even less good. And then they have Israel Abanikanda, whose name escaped me in the instant analysis, but not anymore because I am a pro. And it's my job to get these names correct. And his name is Israel Abanikanda. It's a great name, and I like it. And I'm familiar with it, and maybe he'll play, although he was inactive tonight. And that's not the best sign because they've got to remember when it comes to the 49ers, it's not necessarily about getting the best players on the best players eventually get on the field. But first, they have to learn the system. And he doesn't know the system yet. So it's going to be tough to beat the Rams without Guerendo. Do you think something will be in the air on Thursday night? Do you think the stars will be shining bright for him on Thursday night? Maybe. But without, it would be a real shame. But at the same time, it'd be kind of fitting if the Niners season ends because they lose because they have no more healthy running backs. Some people might say it's bad luck. Other people might say that was something they could have maybe prevented. And moving forward, next year, something to think about. McCaffrey will come back. He'll have a full offseason. You can't ever use him like a bell cow ever again. He'll be 29. I don't give a damn how much you're paying him. You can't do that because if you give him 10 carries, 10 to 12 carries a game with some targets, In the past, it was like 24 carries with the Niners. You give him 10 to 12. He just might play 17 games next year. Instead, if you give him 24, 20 plus a game, like you did in 2023 next year, he'll play 3 games, 4 games, and then probably get hurt and miss a month and then come back just like this month, just like this season. So, Guerendo, is he built to be a starter in the NFL? I don't think so. But he'd be one hell of a rotational back in a tandem. To me, the trio of McCaffrey, Mason, and Guerendo should have been, wow, my voice cracks at 36, should have been the best trio in the NFL this season. Guerendo will be a restricted free agent next year, and really, I don't see how the Niners can keep him because they'll tender him something, and then another team can match it. And then I don't see how the Niners can match that offer because they already paid so much for McCaffrey. They can't pay more for running back. So this year they could have had the best trio in the league. Next year they'll have McCaffrey and Guerendo. That's a great 1-2 punch. It's not Sonic and Knuckles, but it's something. We got to find a name for it. If there's a cool name for the combo, Kyle will have to use it. So it's on us as honorary content creator, quality control, to find a cool little nickname. You know, when I was a kid, Ron Dane and Tiki Barber were kind of like thunder and lightning, but that doesn't really work for this because there's really no thunder. It's lightning and lightning. Maybe that's the one, lightning and lightning. That's terrible. But you know what I'm saying? If we could come up with a cool little nickname, they'll both play and we'll all be happy. And the Niners will live happily ever after, and all of their wildest dreams will come true.